Hello, everybody. So I was a bit bored today, and I would wondered what indie game character would win in Squid Game. So I decided to make a video about it. So here we are. Here's our contestants. Here's the Shovel Knight characters, the Cuphead characters, the Undertale characters, the Deltarune characters, the Among Us and Hollow Knight characters, the FNAF characters, the Poppy Playtime characters, and the ones who are solo. The first game is Red Light, Greenlight. Begin. So all the Shovel Knight characters and Cuphead characters are going to pass this round easily due to their agility and speed. The Undertale characters, all of them are going to pass this round because all of them are all cautious. So not all Deltarune characters are going to pass this round. The ones who are going to fail are like Birdly, Spamton, and Jevil, mainly because Jevil and Spamton are both hyper, and they love chaos for some reason, and Birdly is gonna get distracted, saying, "Oh, Noel, check out this cool trick I learned today," and that's how the three of them are gonna die. So the FNAF crew is gonna make it through easily, and so is everybody else, except for one person. It's Peppino due to stress issues. 46 people remain, and on to the next game. Honeycomb. Once again, all the Shovel Knight characters and Cuphead characters make it for this round easily again. All the Undertale characters pass except for Flowey because he doesn't have hands and nobody's gonna volunteer to help him. Almost all of the members of the Poppy Playtime team are gone because Huggy Wuggy doesn't really have that good hands. And it's basically going to be impossible for Catnap to use a needle. So for the FNAF crew, Freddy and Chica are not going to pass this round because they're not really skilled with anything. And Bonnie can play a guitar and Foxy has his hook. So Bonnie and Foxy are the only survivors of this round. In order for Bellbeast to get past this, Hornet and the Knight is going to have to help them. So the Knight and Hornet help Bellbeast get through Dalgona. So Madeline and Isaac died due to stress issues, so they weren't able to complete it in time. And Super Meat Boy dies because he's not really good at cutting something out with a needle. 38 players remain, and moving on to Lights Out. The first one to die is Alfie's because nobody cares about her and people don't even want to protect her anyways. So Toriel and Queen ended up getting into a fight, so Asgore came to save Toriel, and then Asgore sacrificed himself to defeat Queen in order for Queen to not kill Toriel, so Asgore is eliminated and also Queen. So Red, Blue, and Boyfriend are all killed by Susie. Player and Fall Guy are in a fight, and then V1 just kills them. Then Baldy and Granny tried to attempt to kill V1, but they fail. Then V1 gets killed because he is heard by a guard. So now the Poppy Playtime characters are now gone. 27 players remain. Time to move on to Tug of War. This is Team 1. And this is Team 2. I'd say Team 2 takes the win because Cuphead has a slight edge versus Noel, which can cast a snow grave. And Cuphead did survive a lot of explosions before. So I'm gonna have to give the slight edge to Team 2 for that. Alright, so the other contestants were sent to marbles, so I'm gonna just get started. I'm giving it to Henry Stickmin because he can be manipulative, and the person doesn't even speak. Round 2 is Papyrus versus Mugman. Mugman doesn't even want to kill Papyrus, but Mugman has a better IQ, so I'd say he wins. Next, we have Bonnie versus Tenna. I think Bonnie would not really understand, so I'm gonna have to give it to Tina. Next, we got Sans versus Chris. This is a hard one, cause Sans is really good at manipulation, but Chris is probably just gonna refuse. So I'm gonna have to give it to Sans over here. Lastly, we got Metaton versus Toriel. Metaton is better at manipulation, so I'm picking Metaton. Next round is hide and seek. Here are the hiders and here are the seekers. So whenever Hornet is not paying attention, either Steve or Susie might sneak up on her and then kill her. Personally, I think that would be Susie. And then Lancer, he can just hide in the corner. He's perfectly safe. And Belbeast, he's gonna run over Foxy. And that's how the game of hide and seek is solved. So which means the Knight and Steve are eliminated because they didn't kill anybody. 13 players remain and on to Glass Bridge. So the first one to get out is Belbeast due to his large size, so the guards are just gonna kick him out. So another two people that are out is Susie and Mugman, because Susie's gonna test Mugman to make sure if that glass tile is safe. And then Susie's gonna get out because the guard saw her push him. Also, Lancer is likely to get out in this round because he doesn't even think about stuff and just does it. And pretty much the rest of the others survived this round. 9 players remain. Moving on to Sky's Squid Game. So everybody is deciding who to kill, and everybody thinks about Tina or Henry Stickmin because they have really not done that much in the game. And also, Tina's just a TV and Henry's just a stickman. And then they just refuse to just jump off. So then Shovel Knight sacrifices himself to defeat Henry Stickmin, and Metaton sacrifices himself to defeat Tina. But Tina just dodges and Metaton just falls off. So Undyne gets really tired of this and decides to put a spear through Tina's face. And then, Cuphead and Rousey get afraid. But then Cuphead catches Undyne off guard, and then Undyne gets pushed off by one of Cuphead's abilities. So Frisk tries to attack Cuphead next, but then Frisk falls off because Cuphead dodges, and then whenever Cuphead dodges, he also falls off and bumps into Sans, which catches Sans off guard, which leaves one winner, which is Rousey.